Well, I didn't find out about this movie until like a month ago. As soon as I found out it was pretty much a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and it was starring Nicolas Cage. I couldn't wait because that sounds like a load of fun. But anyways, hi guys, welcome to my review of Willy's Wonderland. So Willy's Wonderland follows a quiet drifter who is tricked into a janitorial job at a new condemned Willy's Wonderland. The mundane tasks suddenly become an all-out fight for survival against wave after wave of demonic animatronics. Fists fly, kicks lands, titans clash, and only one side will make it out alive. Yeah, so the concept overall sounds a lot of fun, and from that synopsis you can tell it's not going to take itself seriously by saying titans will clash. I won't hold you back any longer. I'm just going to dive straight into the positives for this movie, and then maybe if there are some, the negatives. So the overall premise of Willy's Wonderland seems to promise a fun time, and I can assure you it does provide a fun time. That's only as long as you go in knowing what to expect. Not that this movie's going to take itself seriously and can look past some dumb lapses in logic. The movie's very self-aware of how silly it is. That's where it becomes so fun. They've cast Nicolas Cage, who seems perfect for this kind of role. And like 5 minutes into the movie, they already have one of those shots where he takes off his sunglasses and looks into the camera lens. That's when you know what you're in store for. Given that this is, a low-budget movie, and the concept may look quite cheesy on screen, but I was actually genuinely surprised at how good the animatronics looked. They weren't superb, but they did look as realistic as they could. Some of the battles, there was shaky cam, but for the most part, I was surprised to see how uncut they were, and just seeing these animatronics move, and the little CGI they did use didn't look too bad, so I was impressed with that. They just get straight down to business with establishing the story. It doesn't take too much of the time, as they know that's not a priority. So overall, yeah, there was a lot of fun to be had here, but let's move on to my negatives. So moving into my negatives, and as I said, they dragged in Nicolas Cage, who on paper lined up with this character seemed like the perfect fit, not just for the role but for like a purposely over the top movie. But I was a little bit disappointed, I won't lie, of how much they kind of restrained his character. Nicolas Cage, he's a big actor, but he does feature in a lot of these small budget movies, and something which had this fun of a premise, you would expect, Nicolas Cage to be shouting out one-liners every minute or two, but I don't think his character says a word here. It was funny, but it felt like it was a bit of lost potential. I was never expecting to see, an Oscar-worthy movie here, but at least they could have given us with some more Nicolas Cage, hilarious stuff. I did laugh a lot with his character, of how he would just, leave fights to go play a pinball machine. But I was disappointed that we didn't get a lot of his one-liners. In fact, we didn't even get a word out of him, I don't believe. So we just didn't get to see him go full berserk like he could have. But from this movie, I did get what I fully expected, but if you go into this thinking it's going to take itself seriously, you're going to be disappointed. And it has a lot of those cliches where, the characters, they make awful decisions just so it can benefit the plot. That might frustrate people, it didn't me, because I knew what I was coming in for. As well as some of the side characters, their acting wasn't too good. But yeah, those end negatives were just for the people who go in here expecting something. You just have to turn off your brain for this kind of movie and sit back and enjoy the fun. So overall, as I've said, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It could have been better if they allowed Nicolas Cage to be himself and just, all these one-liners, as I've said. But still, I had a lot of fun with it, and a lot of the fights were really entertaining. I watched it late at night, at technically morning. I watched it at 1 a.m, so it was the perfect, ideal movie for then, especially since it's really short and it doesn't require your brain at all. These sort of movies I've always found hard to, give a rating for them, because, they're purposely not going to be amazing in terms of, a filmmaking quality, the plot. They're targeted for this kind of quality, the one they succeed in. But that's what you don't know, because it can flip on its head. If a movie like this took itself really seriously, it could have like a really low score, like a 3 or something. But then if it goes exactly what it's aiming for, that's hard, because, you know, you can't have it up there with, you know, like Oscar-worthy movies. You can't have it mid-tier, because that might feel like an insult to them. But I think what I've gone for is a fair result. I'm going to give Willy's Wonderland a 57%, and in all honesty, I think it could have been in the 60s if it just had more of that Nicolas Cage nonsense going full berserk. It would have benefited this movie more. But yeah, 57%, and I actually would recommend it. You know, many things which are in the 50s or low 60s I don't really recommend, but for what type of movie this is, it's a lot of fun, especially if you like Nicolas Cage. You know, it'll bring a smile to your face at least once. We're now building up that 2021 list, and it's probably sitting about mid-table. So there was my review of Willy's Wonderland. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of it if you have seen it. I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. You know, I'm trying to push my subscriber count up this year, and I can't do it without your help. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in my next one.